everyone, what is good on the internet, what is good in life? I'm Li495. After dark tonight. I don't do too many of these, even though I've done some of them recently, but hey, I'm after dark, and that's what we're working with a little bit right now. Again, apologize for the choppy webcam and everything that could be related to that. But Tim Wakefield may not be a part of the Boston Red Sox rotation. He may be a part of the team, but it does not look like, according to what is going on and according to reports, that he may be a part of the Sox rotation for the 2011 baseball season, as it looks like that, if anything, if he does wind up making the team, that he will be in the bullpen. Now, it was suggested by NBC Sports. I follow NBC Sports on my Twitter account, and when it came up on my Twitter, I was like, what? Tim Wakefield may not make the team? Oh my goodness, wouldn't this be a development? I mean, he's 44 years old. So there are some reasons, to consider. Is he has he hit the wall? Is he finally at the end? Is the knuckleball even knuckling anymore? Which, for the past few years, now I wouldn't be able to say that I've been following his career ever since he first came into the league. I believe it was in 1995, but he's been a long-time member of the Boston Red Sox, and I wouldn't be able to say that I followed his career for a while, but recently it just seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, and if I am wrong, go ahead and correct me on this, because I'm always open to criticism, so go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. But it just seems as though that against most of the teams in the American League, he is at least average to subpar. But in many cases, and maybe this may be changing as well, but in many cases, at least in the past few years, against the New York Yankees, he seems to be, he looks like one of the best pitchers in all of baseball when facing the New York Yankees, because for some reason the Yankees don't know how to hit a knuckleball. Now, that's just my observation. Now, maybe I'm basing that from stuff from 2004 and 2005 and 2006 and 2007 and 2008 and other previous seasons, where, of course, he's been a part of the Red Sox, but time has passed on. He's no longer part of the rotation. Pedro Martinez and Kurt Schilling, as the old saying goes, ain't walking through that dough anymore. And he's been getting shelled a little bit in spring training. I believe he gave up a couple of homers, including one to Evan Longoria in a recent spring training game against the Tampa Bay Rays, who, of course, will be a division rival going into this season. And we know what that rotation is going to look like. It's going to be Lackey and Josh Beckett and John Lester. They're all going to be there, and then most likely Clay Buchholz is going to be in there as well, and Daisuke Matsuzaka is a little bit of a wild card. It's just amazing. They paid all that money to Daisuke Matsuzaka. Everybody was all going, getting all hyped up about the Japanese gyro ball, or what really is his pitch. They were comparing it to some type of a screwball that's thrown predominantly by American pitchers, and everybody was going gaga over Daisuke, and he's been, good at most, but I wouldn't say he's been the investment that they made, that was worthy of giving him that huge contract that they gave him. I believe it was it 2006, 2007, or what year was that when Daisuke moved from the what was it, the Cebu Lions to the Boston Red Sox? What team was it that he was playing with in Japan before he came to the American League, to Major League Baseball? I forgot exactly what league it was. So I think that it would be good to have him in the bullpen, because he is a veteran. He'd be able to, he'd still be able to do something and teach young pitchers the ropes, all that thing. He does have a veteran presence, so I can understand that they want to keep him around for those kinds of purposes, to sort of mold young pitchers' future into future Red Sox stars on the mound. So I can understand that they want to keep it around for those purposes. But he seems to be clearly over the hill. The knuckleball is no longer knuckling, in my opinion. And if that's the reason that they're going to give eventually for getting rid of him, and possibly maybe even trading him at the trade deadline, then that's what the Red Sox. That's a Red Sox prerogative, I guess. He could be traded. Daisuke could be traded. But it all depends on if they're competing, which everybody, I think, is expecting the BoSox to compete for most of 2011. I think they got the best team in all of the National League East. I think that they are going to win, even though I got a lot of Yankee fans who are probably, a lot of Yankee fan friends who are watching that probably ain't going to like this when I say this, but I think the Red Sox are going to win the National League East, and the Yankees and the Rays are probably going to have to do their best to get maybe a wild card spot in the AL, but who knows? We'll see. You know, these things aren't won out of the mouths out of analysts like those on MLB Network and ESPN, and even those out of novice analysts like myself. So we'll see what happens this season. We'll see what happens with Tim Wakefield and the Boston Red Sox and everything else in Major League Baseball. But what do you think if you are a Red Sox fan and you were to lose Tim Wakefield to a trade, or if he were not to make the team, or if he were to be sent, or even if he were to retire? You know, 44 years old. You know, he's got to be thinking about retirement at this point in his career. You know, maybe Moth apparently is a fan of Tim Wakefield and thinks he should stay on the team, regardless. Maybe even stay on the rotation. I don't think so. He's going to be in the bullpen if any place. But that's that Moth's opinion. What's your opinion? That Moth doesn't matter. Rate, comment, react, reply, add, subscribe. As always, I look forward to reading your comments. I'm just one guy talking about nothing. What do you think? Until next time, I am LI495, and I'll be seeing you on the internet someplace at any time, even after dark.